So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. It is the Demetra K Show where we promote, and we're gonna try to today. We're gonna try our best. Donovan, what do you Catholics do when you it's like, what is that? You cross yourself,
Yes. We give ourselves discernment, and we do the thing. So
all of that. Okay, we don't need all that today. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we are a great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to say a big giant thank you and welcome to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, but you are family, and we often share the link. All I ask is that if I have not seen you on here before, please show me your face before I bring you up to the big screen to verify that there are no shenanigans involved in what we are going to be doing here and moving forward. Uh, Today, we are going to be addressing that of something Roland Martin finally addressed. He finally addressed the migrant situation in regards to our community, but it's probably not what you think it is, right? So we're going to get into that. I'm going to play a short snippet. But before I get started, I'm going to have to do a little, straightening, as what they would say. Now, I will tell you guys, I get, I don't want to say, I guess, trolled. How about this? I get harassed quite a bit on all of my platforms, whether it's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's YouTube, you name it. Because when you do what I do, oftentimes people don't like what you do, right? And so instead of them just going on about their little business, they want to hop into my inbox. And I don't often check my inbox, but today I just happened to be looking at my phone and I saw somebody wants to send me a message. So usually when I get that kind of message, it's from somebody that I'm not friends with or whatever the case is. And so I was like, all right, what are they saying? And they said something that was pretty funny at first, but then they continued to troll me on my Facebook. So I'm going to give this gentleman the attention that he thinks that he wants. But let's see who came on here before I get into that. J Bubba, how you doing? Says, oh, I can't wait. Roland is trying to get them biscuits. Trying? The average logical thinker, how you doing? Monet, Marie, Mike, how you doing? Shannon. Sister Shirley, how you doing? Gary Mack, thank you so much. How you doing? And Maria Evans, how are you? Turner Ira, Michael Pan, Jupiter, 1,000 times ice. How you doing? And did I say hello to Shannon? Yes. And Mike C. All right. I love you too, Mike. So here we go, really quick. I just want to give it a little attention because I think he needs it. So this gentleman here, as you can see, it says we're not friends. His name is Mooch Evans Wood Fork. Okay. Now I want to say off the top of this, I do not condone bullying or anything like that. So I'm not going to bully him. Okay. And nevertheless, he says, you the sellout Sambo mammy with Uncle Ruckus Phil Scott, who is trying to get Black votes to vote for Trump. All right, I saw it and I laughed and I went on about my day. Okay. Because like I said, I'm kind of used to this stuff. It doesn't bother me. So I want to remove this. Okay, let's remove that. And I got a couple more things because I want to really give him the attention that he wants. I mean, he keeps trying to get me to notice him, so I'm going to do that. I can hear my sister in the back of my head. You shouldn't. I can't help myself today. Okay, so let's see. What other picture do I want to share? Okay, so again, I forgot all about the dude. I wasn't even thinking about it. So he took the time, to go to my profile on Facebook. As you can see, that's my profile. And I posted a picture 3 days ago. Okay. So he goes on there. He says, I can't believe this lady and Uncle Ruckus Phil are trying their best to get Black people to vote for Trump. And I said, all right, Mr. Wood Fork, I see you so desperately want my attention. Well, you're going to get it. I'm going live in 20 minutes. Okay. All right. So then I went on to his page. I was like, well, I really need to give him the attention that he's asking me for. I mean, I just think he deserves it. Okay. So let me see here. What else do we got of Mr. Woodfork? Okay. So, I guess he wants us to see his muscles. He's got, in the gym. I don't know. It looks like a log of sausage, but I don't know. Maybe he's
Yeah.
working on a muscle or something. I don't know.
Is that a brother? He looks like he's kind of mixed or something like that.
I don't know. I'm assuming he's a brother because he's advocating for black people. He says you're getting black people to vote for Trump. Okay, so he's in the gym. I'm like, well, he's a pretty good sized fella. And I won't show any more pictures, but he's probably like 2 feet tall. Like, okay, maybe he's 4. He's a little guy, but he's got a big mouth, and he's thumb thugging on Facebook, messing with me. And so again, his point of contention is, I'm trying to get black people to vote for Trump. Now, anybody who has followed this show has never heard me tell y'all to vote for Trump, even on my work on other platforms, the African Diaspora News Channel, which is, I guess where he's seen me and Brother Phil. None of us has ever told you to vote for Trump. All we've asked you to do is make an informed decision. We do take the Democrats to task, and we're going to do a little bit of that today. We do take them to task because they are the ones that benefit from the black vote more than anybody, any other political party. And so if Mr. Woodfork here is thinking that I am a mammy and a sellout because I'm asking us as black people to be more informed when we go to the polls, I don't know what to tell him. But see, Mr. Woodfork here is kind of part of the problem because he thinks that all black people, right? Because he said black people, he thinks that we should be a monolith and that we should continue to vote for nothing. He don't think that we should exercise our right to vote for whoever we want to, right? And I'm assuming this guy is a Democrat. Well, the Democrats tell us all the time, we need to preserve democracy. Democracy is in danger. Well, if we are all benefiting from democracy, shouldn't we have a say-so as to who we want to send to the White House, even if that includes Trump? But see, this man here is not rare. There's a lot of people like him that think like him, that want to label everybody everything but the child of God. I'm not a mammy or a sellout, and neither is that of Brother Phil. But instead of him just scrolling on by and minding his business, he went into my inbox and on my page to let me know how he feels. So I'm going to let him know how I feel. Mr. Woodfork, what you should do is educate yourself and stop listening to the talking points of a party that wants nothing for you. In fact, I hope that you are watching. I really do. And I want you, when I put this link up, to click the link so that we can have a spirited yet insightful conversation as to why you think that we're sellouts and why we should continue to vote for more of nothing. Now, I've given you your 15 minutes per se of fame. And I hope that helps. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Now, moving right along.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What if you are advocating voting for Republicans, or not that you're doing that, but what if you were? So what?
Yeah, and your mic is tiny bit muffled. So what if I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can do what I want, but it's unfortunately people like him, like I said, they're not rare, and they're going to be more and more of those people because they don't have the ability to think rationally about anything. They get in their emotions. Like, can't even think of the last time I've gotten in somebody's inbox and said, I don't like what you said. I don't like what you're doing. It's like, I don't like it. All right, keep on going. Like, it's no skin off of my teeth, right? So, we'll see if he comes on or whatever. I doubt it because, like I said, most people who do that, they just thumb thugging in the comment section, walking tall and talking. I can't say he really walking too tall because he's trying to anyway. Nevertheless, Donovan, what say you before we get into this? I'm sorry to be long-winded, but I thought he deserved a little bit of attention.
Absolutely. Can you hear me better now with the microphone?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hey, you guys, welcome. It's 3:00. Welcome back to the Dimitri K Show. It looks like the Kansas City Chiefs will be heading back to the Super Bowl for the 4th time in 5 years. What can you say? Dynasty. They've only won it twice, I think, but 4 times in 5 years is pretty good. But welcome to the Dimitri K Show. It's 3:00. That means it is Dimitri K, 3:00 Pacific Standard Time, 5:00 Central Time. This is where we end up on Sundays. And by the way, Super Bowl. Give us a 1 in the chat if you think that Dimitri should do a Super Bowl show, because we know a lot of you guys are going to be at parties and doing all that stuff. But the revolution continues, regardless if you're watching the Super Bowl or not. let us know if that's something you would want us to do for the Super Bowl. Now, you see that little scrolling banner down there. If you so desire, you guys know the routine. You guys, we say it all the time. If you want to keep Dimitra motivated to make these great videos, there's a way you could donate where she will get 100% of your donation versus YouTube getting 40% and she only gets 60. What a split. Anyway, also do not forget to check out the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it at Google Play and also at Apple Store. Go ahead and download that, be a member, so we can talk about a lot of stuff that's going on in the African diaspora. A lot of stuff is going on. I'm a member of it. Guess what I found out? Did you guys realize, and a lot of people don't know this, because what happens over there around the world happens to us. South Africa thing about genocide with Israel has been upheld by the IJS, the International Justice Court, whatever it is. It has been upheld. So they are asking Israel to stop the genocide that's going on in Gaza. We don't know if Israel's going to abide by it, but the point is, it has been found that they have standing. And how I found out about that information? Through the African Diaspora Network. So please go ahead over there, join, become a member. That way we can find out what's going on and keep this thing going and be knowledgeable about what's going on in our community. All right, Dimitra, this is very important. Let's get to it. By the way, I'll be putting up Detroit and San Francisco is playing right now. So hopefully I'm going for Detroit. They haven't been in the Super Bowl in almost 60 years, something like that, 70 years. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes, don't jinx them, right? And so hello to everybody that came on here. Let's see here. Hello, Mr. 619 USC. Okay, so let's get into it. We've belabored this long enough. All right, so this was kind of brought to my attention a couple of days ago. So Mr. Roland Martin, and I'm going to do my best to be respectful. I know a lot of people have names for him. I just choose not to be doing all of that. So it's brought to my attention the other day that he finally addressed the immigrant situation in regards to the Black community, because, for a while, he just wasn't going to do it for whatever reason. But on this particular time, he decided to do it. And I'm going to play a snippet of it. It's a still, so it'll be a photo along with his voice. But he's talking to that of Reese Taylor, I think her name is, Dr. Greg Carr, and a woman by the name of Lauren. And I forget her last name, so forgive me in that. But this is a snippet of what was said. So here we go.
Problem, Reese, that we got too many people listening to dumb folk on social media who are not fully understanding of what's going on here. And while these same people are yelling and screaming about migrants coming in, they don't even have remotely the same energy when it comes to advocating for public policy for the existing people that directly impacts us. They spend more energy trying to fight them versus, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. Let's make sure these folks are elected, then let's make sure these dollars are apportioned, because I'm going to say it again.
Right.
Congressman Bobby Scott was sitting here shoveling money to HBCUs when the Democrats control the House. And guess what? That money was, so guess what? All these HBCUs, Tennessee State, Howard, Morehouse, Spelman, Texas Southern, Florida A&M, we're seeing massive increases. Now we got to build more dormitories. What's that called? Black construction. Oh, now we got to acquire the land. What's that called? Black real estate people. Oh my goodness, we now got to have more goods and services. What's that called? Black stores. But again, though, the simple Simons out there don't quite understand the notion of building a Black economy and a Black infrastructure, because they so caught up sounding like white supremacists saying, oh, here come those other people.
All righty. Now, that was, again, it was a snippet, that particular portion of it. I don't know, I went like maybe 20 minutes or so, and he gave everybody else a chance on there to speak. But again, basically he was saying that, and I'm assuming he's talking about New Black Media, but he specifically named that of FBA and B1. And he said a whole lot of other choice words that I chose not to say. But, Roland, he's going to call names and things like that. But most notably, he called us Simple Simons. And he went on to say in the beginning of that, he wanted to let everybody know that he is not an immigrant. He is of a Haitian descent, but his grandmas, great grandmas, and all this other stuff, they are from here. So he's saying he's an American citizen. And what else did he say? And he also went on before this clip to say that Black immigrants are 10% of the population. And so we need them. I'm just telling you what he's saying. Says we need them in order to get things done as far as the census and, things like that. Then he also, as y'all heard him say, talk about public policy. We care more about talking about the immigrant situation than public policy, getting the right people in office, or advocating for dollars to go to specific places like HBCUs. And he kind of harped on the HBCUs quite a bit. We know that most Black Americans did not go to HBCUs, and most Black Americans will not go to HBCUs. But for some reason, he's counting that as a win from the Democratic Party. He says when they controlled the House, they got a lot of dollars for HBCUs. But the part that really kind of just made me say, is he talked about all these Black construction companies. And I'm like, where are the Black construction companies at? He also talked about real estate offices, getting a piece of this pie, I guess. And he talked about Black stores, and it's like, well, what Black stores is you talking about, brother? Because it's not a whole lot of Black stores. So he's saying that they could get all this money, but we know that Black Americans are asking for reparations, right? I don't hear him talking about reparations much. But with reparations, we could have Black construction company, real estate conglomerates. Yeah, we got Black real estate offices. But the things that he mentioned, that doesn't help the collective of Black people. That only helps, certain people. You know what I mean? And so also Eric Carr, I guess, Dr. Eric Carr, I should say, and Brother Phil actually took mastery of it, and he's going to pick it apart a little bit more. But he pointed out how Dr. Carr called us immigrants. And as Brother Phil said, that is kind of a talking point that the Democratic Party seems to be going with and marrying Black Americans with that of the immigrants. Oh, we're immigrants. And as Brother Phil said, are we really immigrants? Because we didn't come over here on our own. You know why we were brought over here, those of us who were brought over here. And so they're trying to water it down and make it more palatable so that because y'all know how we are as Black Americans, we get on board with everybody else's things. So they're trying to make it more palatable. So we'll, I guess, sympathize with that of the migrants, even though we know the migrant situation is harming us. And so I wanted to talk about Mr. Roland Martin today because I think it's time. I think it's time that we really call him to the carpet because he's disingenuous. He's disingenuous in trying to get Black people to sign up for more of nothing and believe that the immigrant situation is helpful to us. It is not helpful to us, but that's what he's trying to sell now. And everybody, when y'all see him talking like that, y'all need to respectfully call him out on it and say, nah, bruh. You're supposed to be the voice or one of the voices of Black media, right? And I'm going to say this. At one point in time, Roland Martin was considered to be a respectable voice of Black media, but somewhere, somehow, something changed in him. And when I, as a Black American, listen to somebody like Roland Martin, he's very hateful. It's like he hates Black people, and especially the Black people that will not listen to him. The Black people who have said, you know what? I'm getting off the Democratic plantation. I'm going to go listen to something else. I'm going to get some new knowledge. He hates our portion of Black America. Like I said, to the point of calling us everything but a child of God. So we need to spend some time talking about Roland Martin and him being disingenuous and trying to sell immigration to Black people as if that is helpful to us. Donovan?
Yeah, real quick. Didn't Roland Martin call you an idiot or something like that on X or something like that? So you and Roland and he called me an idiot as well, but you guys have a nice little relationship there. Roland. Now, if you guys have been listening to my podcast and I talk about these people, when we talk about people that identify as Black. Now, Dimitri's a census expert because she worked for the census at one time. If we're 13% of the population, half of the people that identify as Black in the United States will not get reparations by lineage. They're not descendants of slaves. Only half of us are descendants of slaves. So I think you just said there, Roland is like a third generation from Haiti. If we ever got reparations, he ain't getting it if it's lineage based. He's not going to get it. because these people migrated here willingly of their own fruition and stuff like that. So he's out. But he keeps bringing up all the stuff that the Democratic Party did for HBCUs, right? Isn't it strange that he did not mention what was the biggest payday that the HBCUs got from an administration? It was from the Trump administration. He said, why do you keep coming here every year asking me for money? I will give you 10 years worth of money to stay out of my face. Gave him a lump sum. After all of that money, all this construction, whatever. Now, here's what I caught out of that. And I hope you guys caught this too. He keeps talking about all this money the Democratic administrations have given HBCUs over the years. Then why does the HBCU campuses look like crap? Where's the money going? Where's the money going? And like you said, Demetra, not a lot of black people attend HBCUs. It's almost HBCUs is for the boule, the minority of us. So all of that money given, and it isn't just Democratic administrations, HBCUs are given money by the federal government every year. Doesn't matter what administration it is. They're given money every year. But yet, you go to those campuses. My son went to an HBCU. My niece went to an HBCU. I got friends, kids who went to HBCUs. You go to those campuses and it's crap. But the administrators and all of these people make all this money. Deion Sanders even exposed, how the hell do you sell out stadiums? Every game for Jackson State, whenever he coached, was sold out, but yet they couldn't produce the receipts. So who's stealing the money? See, he's not telling you guys the whole story there. So again, it's very interesting in how this man, just like Al Sharpton, he gets rid of the I'm the angry black man, stand up for black people shtick, because those Democratic dollars, it's very lucrative. It is very, very lucrative. And we're not saying that people who migrated here because of black suffrage, you're not welcome. That isn't what we're saying at all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The problem is people who come from other colonized countries come with the colonizer's mindset in a lot of situations. Not everybody, but a lot of them come with that colonizer's mindset. And here's a good example. 15,000 Haitians were sitting on the Texas border, and they were shipped out of here forthwith. And yet he's sitting there making it seem like we shouldn't complain about all these Venezuelans, that Joe Biden is executively using a pen to legalize them to stay in this country. That's going to affect us. Voting rights is going to affect us. Voting rights is about letting these illegal people have the right to vote. We're already a minority as we take it. So if these people come in and drown us out in a matter of 5 to 10 years by voting their interests, hey, it's a wrap for us. But I want you guys to think about this. When you guys talk to your loved ones about the political situation and gentrification, whatever, just point to Los Angeles. Point to what has happened to Los Angeles. And that is going to be your guidebook, because that is what they're using in New York, they're using in Chicago. What happened in Los Angeles? You flooded the city full of Hispanics and whatever. And guess who controls South Central Los Angeles right now to this very day? You got black representation in there in little shards, but majority of it, you guys saw the TV city council talking about with chimpanzees and all this other stuff. The Hispanics control everything. And I've said this, and I've bet Demetra, the next election in Chicago, the next mayor is going to be Hispanic. Use Los Angeles as a blueprint. Roland Martin is a clown.
Yes, indeed. And hello to everybody that came on here. I'm trying to acknowledge everybody for the first time that's on here today. Trish, how are you doing this evening? Godspeed. How are you doing? It says Roland Martin is full of it. There is no way I would even pay him any attention. He is not for the people. He is for his pockets. That's what the word on the street is. I don't have any inside information on that. But yeah, I'll take y'all word for it. Let me skip down just a little bit. King Shaw, how you doing? Says, I pray to God that the Democrats lose House and Senate and the White House. We got to make them earn our vote, or they want to dangle our agenda. We are going to dangle our votes. Yes, indeed. And Black America says nobody likes island people. Well, that's not true. Uh, let me skip down just a little bit, and I'm going to actually open the link now. I want to be very clear. How can I say this? Sharishay. I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says I'm in Houston. The replacement is real. So you seeing it firsthand because Texas is the state that has the most, I would say, probably immigrants coming in through that southern border. So absolutely, Rock Bush, how you doing? So I'm going to open up the link. I want to also say, if I have not seen you on here before, please show me your face before I bring you up to the big screen so I can verify that there are no shenanigans. All I ask also is that if you have nothing pertinent to add to the conversation, please reserve clicking the link until something you can and want to talk about is up for topic. Let's see here. Dan, how you doing? He says Latin Americans are not Hispanic. I take issue with his classification. Okay. Okay, so I made it to the bottom. And my business, how you doing? He says Roland sees himself more aligned with the white Caribbeans. Okay, I don't know anything about that. I just know he keeps saying that he's a African American or Black American, I should say. So I'm gonna take him at his word. Double A, how you doing? Says we are being replaced. Okay, in Brooklyn, Bandit, what's going on? Says lately I call my city New Suela. Okay, incredible brother. How you doing? Says, oh Lord. Says I'm gonna say Roland. Says couldn't even admit to Richard Spencer that he was actually a Black man. Rolly said he wasn't. I mean, he was a Christian man first. What a clown. Yeah, I did see that, and I was like, really? You can't say that you were a Black man? What's really going on here? Especially somebody like Richard Spence, right? Per blood, how you doing? It says hello from Arizona. Finally caught it live. Yay! Says Arizona is also extremely corrupt and ran by the cartels. Yeah, I would imagine. So, Black Spider, how you doing? Yeah, I ain't gonna repeat that, but I see what you're saying. Marcella, how you doing? All right. Now, Dwayne says, hey, Demetra, what about the Democratic Party creating the KKK? They did. I don't say it's a difficult thing to explain, but it's a thing called the Southern Switch, if you will. It's kind of like the party switch. They're both Republicans and Democrats yesterday and now are and always have been adverse to Black people. And there's been KKK members in every party, if that helps. Spider-Man, how you doing? Says Hispanics, Asians leadership does not demean each other like this. It's just rolling. Yeah. And I get it. And let's say Roland is, I don't know if he is, but if he is getting a cut from somebody, I guess it makes sense. You know, you gotta work for the money, right? Especially if you are getting money. I say if, because I don't know. And they want him to speak to Black people, but you take it from his viewpoint. You see, a lot of Black people are starting to leave the Democrats. A lot of Black people say, nah, I'm not going to keep signing up for more of nothing. What did Kamala say? No, I'm just not going to. So that's what we're saying. No, we're not going to keep signing up for more of nothing. So, if he's being paid, he's got to explain to his paymasters as to why his message is not working the way it used to. Because, see, a couple years ago, Black people weren't on code. We listened to the vote blue no matter who, and Trump is the boogeyman. And listen, I'm not telling you to vote for Trump. I've always said, do what's best for you. But to continue voting for a party who would just flat out telling you, not going to do nothing specifically for you. Biden and Kamala said that out of their own mouths. And they have, proven that to be true. So why do we need to keep voting for them? And like I said, Roland is being highly disingenuous with this immigrant situation. Immigrant situation harms Black people the most. The most. They're coming over here getting stuff that Black people have been asking for forever. And they come over here. In fact, we don't even know why a lot of them are coming over here at this point, though. The border just wide open. And they're coming over here and getting all kind of assistance. And Black people saying, hey, did you forget about us? Democrats, y'all can't be in office without us. Can we get a piece of bread or something? And they're not even listening to us.
Right, but doesn't this show the fact of our power? Because now they're starting to panic. November is not that far away, you guys. Now they're starting to panic because just like your man Clyburn, I don't believe it. I don't believe the polls. Black people are going to show up. Black people will show up. They're now seeing it. People, I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know if you guys saw. I think I sent it to you, Demetra. Did you see that amphibious boat landing of the Hispanics coming in La Jolla. That was La Jolla, San Diego. They did an amphibious boat landing. And for those of you guys that know much about the military, there is a Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton amphibious boat assault training facility there. Those Hispanics did an amphibious boat assault landing in La Jolla, San Diego, just as good as the Marines did, jumped out of the boat and went into the community. It is an invasion at this point, and yet we're just supposed to sit here and, say nothing about it. These are resources that are going out of our communities into other communities. Again, I'm going to tell you guys, use Los Angeles as a test bed. You flood that city, Black people control nothing in Los Angeles. Absolutely nothing.
James, I've been reading your comments, and believe it or not, I do read most of the comments, okay? And I've seen that, you're pretty much, you don't like what we're saying here. Well, you got a couple of choices. You don't have to be here, okay? Now, no, Trump did not give me a check. I'm not,
That is the most weakest argument. Did the Democrats give you a check? I mean, come on. That is the weakest argument to say your displeasure with somebody's platform. Oh, somebody gave you a check. Well, who gave you a check to come on this platform?
It's just lazy at this point. It's just lazy. It's boring. It's unoriginal. It's as original as vote blue no matter who. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Do you have anything original, something new to add to the conversation? Just because somebody is taking the Democrats to task, that don't mean that they're pro-Trump. Can you, how do you even draw that correlation? That's like saying, well, I don't go to church anymore. Oh, you must be an atheist. How did you extract that I don't go to church anymore? That I'm an atheist. How did you come to that thought process? So that's what I'm saying. James is lazy. Don't you want new information? Don't you want something other than what you've been told? That the Democrats are the party of the people. I'm not saying Trump is the party of the people either. I'm saying, why do you want to continue to vote for nothing? The Republicans aren't begging for your vote. That's the Democrats that's doing that. Joe Biden stood his happy self up there and said, Black people, you had my back or whatever he said, and I'm going to have your back. I'm going to be there for you. And he ain't did none of the above. In fact, he couldn't wait to admonish the so-called Black leadership and tell them, y'all, I know what I'm talking about. Y'all going to have to get in line and work together with the Hispanic community. That's what he said. And from that point, we have seen him open the borders. It's a floodgate, honestly. And the majority of them, the Hispanic community, have come over here and gotten stuff. James, I'm assuming you're a Black man. I don't know. But they've come over here and gotten stuff that you don't even get. You went to Biden's house right now with an empty cup and said, I'm thirsty. Can you give me some water? He going to be like, no, I want to give the migrants some water first. And then if there's a drop left over for you, I'm going to give it to you. So I'm going to ask you, please, to elevate your thinking and stop being lazy. That's what we got to do as Black people. Stop being lazy in our thought process. Right. Honestly.
Give us a link or something that's going to change our minds so we can exchange ideas. That's the whole point of having these conversations. We don't know everything, up here, but what we do know is what we do know. Blacks put this man in office. That is factual. He said he'd have our backs, but yet nothing specifically for Black people has been done. He done it for the Asians. He done it for LGBTQ. These are small groups that could not get this man elected. How does the minority get more so than what the majority gets? That isn't how a democracy works, from my understanding in civics classes and all that other stuff. So again, we're just pointing out the fact, now that everybody has been served, and he did that within the first 60 days of his presidency when he was in office. Everybody that wanted something got something within the first 60 days. It's 3 years later, and Black people are still waiting for something specific. Did we ever get a federal police commission? Never got it. Did we get a George Floyd bill that did something? We never got it. Did we get the qualified immunity? Did we ever get it? Did we get a repeal of the 1995 crime bill? We never got it. Did we even get a study of reparations in Congress? Nancy Pelosi refused to bring it to the House floor because there wasn't enough votes. When she says there wasn't enough votes, what is she saying? There are too many white Democrats that would vote against it. That's what she's saying. When you don't have enough votes, that means there's too many people against it. Her own party now. Now, I just spewed a bunch of things that you can go look up and research, but you're sitting up here with the one word talking about, oh, you must be for Trump. Come on.
Hello, Herschel. How you doing? It says, I haven't seen Biden do anything you can point to for Black people. No, but you got people who will defend nothing. Like, how do you defend nothing? That baffles me. How do you defend nothing at all? It's the oddest thing. And then you want to argue with people who are saying, think about something else. Have you thought about something else? You know, we give the analogy all the time here. You wouldn't walk into a store and leave your money on the counter if you went in there to buy something. You went in there and buy a red pair of shoes, and they say, well, I'm sorry, we don't have a red pair, but we got a lot of blue pair. Would you go in there and get a blue pair? Or would you go in there and say, never mind, I'm going to just leave my money, though, even though I didn't get what I came in here for? You wouldn't do that. A vote is the same way. Why are you voting for a party who has done nothing for you? Again, I'm not advocating for the Republican Party, but the Republican Party don't beg for our votes. But I should say that Trump is slated to be the first Republican presidential nominee in history to get the most Black votes. He said he can get anywhere between 14 and 30% of the Black vote by the time the election comes around. Last time he got about 12% of the Black vote. In 2016, he got 8%. So he's getting more and more and more. So for those of y'all who are Democrats and you're staunch, diehard Democrats, you need to ask yourself, why is somebody like Trump, who was facing almost 100 court cases and all the other stuff he's, going through, why you got to ask yourself, why is he more of an attractive candidate than that of Joe Biden, who is supposed to be the party of the people? People are fed up. People are fed up with nothing. So again, I want to ask y'all who are staunch Democrats, maybe that's who I'll ask to come up here. If you're a Democrat and you want to defend your position, I'm going to put the link up here and let us know. Why are you dying on that hill? Why are you continually to defend nothing? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, as a recovering Democrat, I'm going to take this position. Well, see, Dimitri, you don't understand how economics works. How you going to pay for it? Y'all want reparations. How you going to pay for it? But wait a minute. You're giving an open checkbook of trillions and billions of dollars to Ukraine, Taiwan now, and Israel. No questions asked, no study. Just trillions and billions of dollars. But when it comes to Black people, there's no money. Here in California, they recently had a reparations task force that recommended that Black people should be getting $133,000 per person starting. Gavin Newsom says reparations should be more than just money, which is bullshit. Reparation could only be money. You can't be anything else. Now, Gavin Newsom says, well, that's a great little study. I'm glad you guys did the book. It's great, but how are we going to pay for it? But he just legalized universal health care for undocumented people that are in the state. Explain that.
Yep. And Yanni, how you doing? So I'll put the link up. And at this moment, I just want people to come up who I feel like the Democrats need defending, and maybe, we're out of touch here, and asking people to, think reasonably about going to the voting poll. And some people say they're going to, vote for the couch, which means they're going to stay home. So I'm just asking those people who want to defend that. And, we don't bite. We're pretty cool. We'll listen. Click the link. And if I have not seen you on here before, please show me your face if you have your face blanked out for whatever reason. And then I will put you up on the big screen because I want to see your face and make sure it's no shenanigans involved. Lisa, how you doing? Let's see who else came on here. Want to make sure I acknowledge everybody. So y'all talking about the Lions scoring and all of that. I couldn't tell y'all who was playing. Let's see who else. Vic.
7-0 Lions, 7-0.
He says, I knew we as Black was doomed when the Black Caucus never announced that incident in Buffalo, New York, in the supermarket. Yeah, and that's another thing. It's not just Biden. It's the Congressional Black Caucus. They're made up of Black politicians that are supposed to be advocating for Black people. But as I always say, if you go to their mission statement, they say that they are advocating for, I think it's African Americans or something like that, and other marginalized communities. No other caucus says that. Every other caucus says that they're advocating for their people, but the Black Caucus, they advocating for everybody. They're actually like an all lives matter caucus. That's really what they should change it to. The all lives matter caucus. That's what the CBC should be, because that's what they do. And in fact, they advocate for everybody but Black people. You know, Donovan, didn't you say Auntie Maxine made a statement in regards to what is it, Holocaust Remembrance Day
Yeah,
yesterday?
Remembrance Day and all that other stuff. She sure did.
Yeah, so you know, what are they actually good for? The Black Congress cannot be there without Black people. Most of the Congress, I think, if not all of them, are Democrats. It wasn't Tim Scott or somebody trying to be up in there, so I don't know if he's actually in there. But most of the Congressional Black Caucus is Black, sent there by Black voters, and they do nothing for Black voters. You know, like I said, got Maxine, she's reclaiming her time. James Clyburn, he's, you know, making sure that Joe Biden is continually to get in the White House and thumb his nose at Black people, and, you know, Barbara Lee and all the other rest of them up there, you know, doing absolutely nothing. So Dan, how you doing? I'm gonna bring you up, and I'm also going to say that I'm going to give everybody about 2 minutes or so to, you know, to speak your mind or whatever it is you want to say. So Dan, how you doing?
Pura vida, Ewa.
Hello. So what's on your mind?
Pura vida is the hello we say in Costa Rican Spanish. Ewa is the hello we say from my people, the Bribri, Central American indigenous.
So Ewa, is that what you're saying?
Ewa.
Ewa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that's how you say it. So I'm supposed to say Ewa. I'm supposed to say it back?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So I have taken several issues, especially with what at some points that Sharik has mentioned. I'm going to be very concise.
Okay.
Number one, the Black American diaspora is something that needs to be expanded on, and there has been an injustice done for the past 200 and 250 years, if not for the past 600 years, where the majority of slaves were brought to Latin America. 94 to 95% of the 12 to 16 million slaves were brought here. I am an example of that. I am a survivor of both the indigenous and the Afro, because eventually in some areas they combined. I wanted to just mention that. Second major point, and real quickly, bipartisan system of politics is the death of the republics, and that has been proven over and time again. But I have lived through successful breaking of bipartisan system in Costa Rica, as well as the failure of the breaking of the bipartisan system in Venezuela. I can give you a whole class on those realities. But the third point, and real quickly, in regards to migration, it is so funny to hear, and I'm sorry to say it this way, but it has to be said this way. It is so funny to hear some gringos up there talking about the migration of my people when it's their policies, both Republicans and Democrats, for the past 60 years, including Donald Trump, that contributed and fueled the displacement of my people towards the north. So, you know what I'm going to say to somebody who says it's an invasion? And pardon my French, go F yourselves.
And Dan, let me say this to you too. I don't know if you've ever heard of this book. It's called Tattoo Soldier. Have you ever heard of that book by Hector Tovar?
No, I have not heard it.
I always tell people to check that book out. It's an excellent book. And he talks about, I want to say it was Nicaragua, the displacement of the Nicaraguan people. And he talked about why they come over, you know, to a place like the United States. And he talked about just what you said. He said that the United States government is complicit in destabilizing governments, which we know they do that, right? He also talked about, now it's a fictional book, but you know,
it's not fictional.
No, I'm saying his book is fictional, but he wove in facts, and also talking about how the United States government, they train up and create these guerrilla groups, if you will, and they go in and help destroy, you know, governments. And so people flee from situations like that. And he says, also think about the people that flee, because when we think about migrants or immigrants or however you want to say it, we think about people who have nothing. He says many of those people were lawyers, doctors, professors, like they had standings in society and they were fleeing for their very life. So I just want to give credence to some of what you were saying.
Let me address something real quickly, and I know probably you have other people, but I think that the contributions of having me here are heavy. In matters of what you mentioned in Nicaragua, 165 years ago, the Walker Affair. Are you aware what the Walker Affair or the filibuster wars were within the decade prior to the Civil War of the United States? You had William Walker, who was a staunch Destiny Manifest follower, who came and invaded Mexico and tried to invade the rest of Central America under orders of the southern states, providing financing. So they were a well-regulated militia from the south who illegally came to our areas. We kicked their asses. We killed them here. Your country couldn't do anything about it. And why did they come here? Because they tried to enslave us. Because the last boat of slaves that arrived in the United States was 9 months prior to the start of the Civil War. So the point of Nicaragua, and Walker became president of Nicaragua. Look at this, a U.S. citizen becoming a president of a foreign nation. With that, I think that the major point that we have to address, is that Latin America and the situational reality of Latin America in the last 74 years, if not in the last 165 years, has been dictated systematically by the interventionism of the United States. And when we try to do our things, then we're qualified as third world nations. Why do I fight the term Hispanics? There's no one up there of the 60 million people who are so-called Hispanics up there of the migration of the United States that could ever fundament that there even exists a Hispanic identity. There's no such thing. There's a Latin American identity that is subdivided in 33 different nations, gotcha, including Caribbean. But
yeah, and so I would love to have you on to expound upon that a little bit more, but I want to thank you for coming up. But I also like to tell people who are from other communities like yourself, this is never a slight against anybody else on this show. We like to promote that of Blackness, specifically for that of Black Americans, because, if you do any research about the history of Black Americans in the United States of America, that it has not been a good one for us. There's a lot of things that this United States government owes us. And so when we see other people coming in and getting resources and Black Americans are not getting them, even though we have specific ask, we have a problem with that. So I just want to, make that clear. But I have other people wanting to come up, so I'm going to let them come up.
Of course, and just to conclude on that point, I do appreciate this, and hopefully I can come back and have a more prolonged conversation in regards of this continent in Western America. The population of Black Americans in the United States is about 45 million, if I'm not incorrect.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
In Latin America, the population of Afro-Americans or Afro-Latin Americans divided in 33 nations is 260 million. We have not seen it either too good. Yes, there's a major difference. One of those major differences is that in the process of the independence of our countries, the first thing they did is constitutionally they abolished slavery. And your country had to wait 90 years and go to a civil war and then 100 years of an apartheid state. There's a lot to disclose there. But I do thank you. And hopefully I can come back and have a more in-depth conversation in regards to this. And Beshko Wobulaba, which means it's the goodbye of my people, which means walk with your eyes open.
Absolutely. I like that. Thank you so much. Come back and see us again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. So
well, I'm going to say this: there was no lie in what he was saying in regards to Latin American, Afro Latin American thing. Because again, as you guys know, I go to the Dominican Republic a lot, and people get mad here in the United States because Dominicans don't identify themselves as Afro. But the thing is, they identify their nationality more so than their background. So I that's a lot of good information there.
Got it. And so, hello to everybody that came on here. I would love to acknowledge every last one of y'all. When I jump back into the comments section, I'm going to be putting up comments, but thank you, everybody, for being here. GP,
love that background.
Yes.
Love that background.
It was good. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But you better be up here saying why you going for the Democratic Party with your suit on.
Oh, I'm not going for the Democratic Party. I just wanted to chime in on James and the other guy that was going at you on social media.
Oh.
I think it's a crying shame that we got guys like that guy that you showed off your Facebook who still haven't fully grasped the concept that they don't control anyone but themselves. I grasped that concept 4 years ago, and through trial and error, I learned to only focus on me and my actions and not let other people's actions get under my skin. So the thing is, most people out here are grown adults acting like children. But I fully grasped the concept 4 years ago. Like I said, that I only control myself. And if somebody doesn't do what I ask of them, I don't let it bother me, because I do that by separating emotion from everything and gaining full control of my mind. And another thing, I just want to chime in on Roland Martin. There's one sentence: F him and everything he stands for.
We thank you, brother. We thank you.
One more question before I get off here.
Okay.
Mike, is the answer to that date still the same?
It is.
But all right, there's one more last thing I gotta say. But there's only one reason why I'm hoping it'll be you that permanently takes me off the market. Because never have I met another woman who, whenever they speak, the sound of their voice is like beautiful, calming, relaxing music to my soul and ears, like yours is. That's why I'm hoping and praying that it'll be you that eventually permanently take me off the market. And I'm just out here doing my thing until then.
All right. Well, you be careful. Be careful out there in the streets.
All right. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, y'all have a good one.
You too. He can't knock a guy for trying. Michael, I'm going to let you up here. And if you ain't talking about why the Democratic Party should be defended, I'm clicking you off. Y'all not listening tonight, but here we go.
Hi, Donovan, Demetra.
How you doing today?
I'm doing very good today. Yeah, so by the way, that first guest, wow, Donovan, I was really surprised he took it very calmly, even though he said,
"Come on, brother, stop stalling."
What? So I'm joking. I can't laugh. I mean, it's so funny, but it's controversial.
Wait now. You supposed to be up here defending the Democratic Party. I ain't heard it yet.
Okay, defending the Democrats. Okay, yeah. So how do I say this? I don't want your audience to get upset that I'm always supporting the Democrats 100%. I don't necessarily support the Democrats 100%. I support it maybe 60-40, depending on the policies they offer, where if it's bold and of course, transparent reparations for ADOS. The last time I voted for a Democrat was actually in the last election in the state. That was it. And after that, in 2024, I'm voting for neither political parties. But anyway, I digress. So why people are defending the Democrats? Because
no, that ain't what I said. I said I wanted you. Anybody else to come up here and to defend the Democrats, and I see people saying boo, eggs, tomatoes, because you up here tap dancing, because you really wasn't trying to come up here defend the Democrats. So, Michael, I'm gonna let you.
Okay, fine. I'll defend the Democrats. Okay,
no, that's not how that works. That's not. Listen.
Okay.
Nobody came up here and did it yet, so I'm gonna have to let y'all down so other people can come up here and actually do that. But thank you. Come back and see us, Mike. I know you can't resist clicking the link. I know you can't.
I'll just say quickly, Democrats advocate for Affordable Care Act. How about that? That's a defense.
Thank you. Come back and see us again. I'm gonna put you in the comment section. Michael gonna try it. That's one thing Michael gonna do is try it. Okay. So anyway, Lord have mercy. I put the link in the comment section if anybody is in the comments. It will be nice. You don't have to show everybody your face. But if you show me your face and then you can blank it back out if you want, come up here and defend the Democratic Party. And this is probably the only day I'll allow people to do that, so we can move on to other things. But let me get back into the comment section. Thank y'all for the compliments on my hair. I don't always wear my afro, but when I do, I try to do it. JL, how you doing? Thank you. If I didn't already, JL. And Thunder says, DK, did you see that brother? He put on a suit and had a whole display. DK, you got them coming at you left and right, center. And you know what? I can't blame the man. Yeah, GP is 24 years old. If I was doing bad things early enough in life, he could almost be my grandson. But I do wish the good-looking brother good luck in his endeavors in finding a nice, sweet. He says he like older women, so older women. Black Spider says supporting the Democrats, even 1% is too much. Yes, and Rodney, how are you doing? Dijon, how you doing? Says migrants, no, they are taking from Black Americans, but don't care. So they know that they're taking. Yeah, they don't care. I mean, think about it. You heard that there's this land of milk and honey, and it's a flowing of plenty. All you got to do is just make it over. All you got to do is just get there. And when you get there, you're going to get shelter. You're going to get food. You're going to get money. You're going to get, in some cases, Social Security. You're going to get a lot of things. Wouldn't you go there too? Would you say, well, I know there's Black Americans over there who have gotten nothing since their ancestors left that plantation. So I'm going to wait and let them get all that they got. They're not going to say that they don't care. You know why they don't care? Because they know that the misleadership that we put in office don't care about us. So of course they going to step over us. Move out the way. I'm coming to get what's mine. In fact, we've seen in Chicago and some city councils, one of them talking about the Black people, y'all lazy. Y'all don't deserve no money. So that's the attitude that they have, because they are watching the media, reading the tea leaves, and how everybody else treats Black Americans, including Black Americans. They see Black American leadership, misleadership, treat Black people in such an austere manner to where they're like, well, that's just how we treat them, right? And I'll give you a case in point. I'm going to bring Black America up here. And God, on God and all the disciples, you better be talking about defending the Democrats. I'm clicking you off of here. We went to Japan last summer, and I was apprehensive of going because, I'm like, Asians don't really like Black people much. We got over there, and it was a totally different experience. They were very nice and, all of that, right? They didn't have any problems. The only problems we may have came from people was coming from other countries, them people coming from other countries. And so I gathered from that experience, they that are coming over here watch and learn how Black Americans are treated, and they come over here and they just fall right in. So yeah, they don't care about Black people. All right, y'all, hold on to your horses. Studio, how you doing? Black America and We the People, how you doing? And Blue Exodus, how you doing? Black America, what's on your mind, brother? Quicks, what's going on with you?
Thank you, Donovan. Hello, Ms. Demetra and Donovan. Good afternoon. Good evening to you, since you all away in Texas, in the country. Now, I am not a Democrat. I am a independent. Have been for a long time. The reason I lean Democrat is mostly the entitlement programs. The very thing that you're complaining about now, that's going to the what you call them, migrants. You call them migrants. The very thing you're complaining about now, we as Black people, only being 13 or 14% of the population, our women get a lot of stuff. They get Section 8, they get food stamps, they get a lot, Medicaid, Medicare, they get all of these helping hands. All of my friends are Republican. Everybody I know basically makes more than me, okay? And they're all Republican. If the Republicans were running things on a permanent basis, it would be blood in the streets. It'd be a lot of homeless women and children that are our skin complexion. in the streets, because we know as Black people, you saying, hey, I'm not advocating for the Republicans, but at the same time, what are the Democrats keeping in place for us? They're definitely keeping in place all of these HUD programs and things of that nature. So it's not, I don't care. My life is straight. But for I'm not one that take care of my cousins and things like that. Some of them heifers and their kids, they'll be out on the streets cold. My aunties that's been on Section 8 for 20 and 30 years, they'll be out on the street cold. So that's why I don't care about, once again, if a Hispanic or Latino or somebody coming from another country is taking jobs and food out of the mouths of Black Americans, I would have to ask the question to you and Donovan. Donovan, is there a Hispanic that came over from another country and can do your job? And Miss D, the same thing to you. Can somebody just come rightly take your job from you? It just doesn't happen. They're not taking money out of our pockets, and they're not taking food out of our mouths. And neither party for hundreds of years have not gave us anything. What would make you think that they were going to give us something just because you don't vote for them? You just have less of nothing is what you would have.
Well, and I'm gonna put you on mute because it sounds like you at NASCAR or something. So you're saying what makes us think they're going to give us anything, and they haven't. So that's a fair point. But they giving everybody else something. So what's more special about them than us? Why don't we deserve anything? Our ancestors built this country. Okay. Our ancestors were robbed of, free labor and a whole host of things. Our ancestors were robbed of their life, land, anything else in between. So don't you think we deserve it? Because clearly it's not an issue of somebody not getting something. It's not an issue of we don't have it, because we see them giving it to everybody else every single day. Whether it's the migrants coming in here, whether it's people in other countries, you got Israel, you got Ukraine, you got Afghanistan, and God knows whoever else. They're getting a big old giant piece of the pie that we baked. So you're saying, and nobody is coming to take our jobs. Well, we know that's not true. There are jobs that could go to Americans, eventually, especially, that are going to everybody else. But we would
like what? Hold on. Okay.
That's not how that works. Okay. Now, your aunties and your cousins and them heifers is what you said. And anybody else wouldn't need no housing. We wouldn't need no jobs. If they wrote us a check, they owe us reparations. So don't come on here talk about what they ain't gonna give us, what we don't need, and all this other stuff. As long as they writing checks for people who are bringing themselves over here newly to America, just step foot over here, they getting everything they need. While we got homeless Black people sleeping on the street, we always gonna ask for something. But don't come over here. I want to say this. Nice try, brother, trying to defend the Democrats, but it was an epic fail. How you doing, Brother Samuel? Donovan?
Well, I see the point. I see the point that he's trying to make in regards to that, but I have to agree with you. You can't do for one group or specific groups and not do for the other. Either it's all or it's nothing. And this is the problem when we have these divisions within our societies. Now, being that we've been here and we were the only group, and this is what a lot of the other groups don't understand. This is what a lot of the other groups don't understand. The only group that was brought here and enslaved was the Black group. Thus, we suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder. We're the only ones that did it. We didn't ask to be here. So our dynamic and how we look at things is totally different than other people. Because, okay, if this country goes to hell in a handbasket, if this country ever went to hell in a handbasket, and it's on its way, those people have a home country to go to. Hey, I'm Mexican. I can go to Mexico. Oh, I'm, African, I can go to Africa. Oh, I'm German, I can go to Germany. They have home countries. The only group of people that have nowhere to go is the lineage-based Black people that were enslaved here. So that is why it is imperative that since slavery, when they said, okay, we lost the Civil War, you guys are now free, go out there and get it, right? Just me and my woman, we went out there with just the clothes on our backs. We were no longer allowed on Mister's property. We can't live in our slave shack. We had to go out in the wilderness and build Tulsa and build the Black Wall Street, and we did all those things. And then the United States government, after World War I, saw how well Black people were doing and decided to bomb American citizens and destroy American citizens' towns. We're the only group that experiences that thing. So with that, if you can show me another group that an FBI reports and DOJ report says nobody is more discriminated against and more hate crimes against than Black people. So if we know these facts, why aren't something being done to make us whole? All the wealth that has been taken from us, what are you going to do to make us whole? But we've got these boule people out here saying, well, if you give us tax breaks, if you let us go to education. That is the biggest BS I've ever heard. If you guys are dumb enough to fall for these so-called Black servants telling you, they're going to give us free education for the rest of our lives. How many of you guys got PhDs and master's degrees and you're making $15 an hour? How many of you guys got that? You got a higher education and you're making $15 an hour. So that's not the answer either. So give me my check and then let me decide what I'm going to do with that. That's all I'm saying. But I see what he's saying with that. But at the same time, you've got to take into the aspect, we are the only group that came here unwillingly. And we have to be made whole. When you go into law and you sue for something, you're not suing because you're right. You're not suing because this or that or that or this. You're suing to be made whole. We have yet to that to be done for us.
Yep. And hold on a second. Who is this? 32 Antoine. Click the link because you say, so y'all rather vote for the party that don't even want you to exist, the Republicans brainwash. Click the link. Don't thumb thug in the comment section. Click the link. I just put it in there. Again, if you guys are coming up and I haven't seen you on here before and you have a picture instead of your face, please show me your face before I bring you up so I can verify that is you and there's no shenanigans involved. But as I said, anybody who wants to defend the Democrats and tell us why we are delusional for asking you to utilize common sense, please click the link. So Black America, did you want to?
Can I give a rebuttal?
Sure, please.
All right. So my first rebuttal is to you. Ms. D, you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve one damn thing. Everything that we get as people, white, Black, Chinese, Mexican, indifferent, you have to work for. You being a woman, you think you're beautiful, you think you're sexy and young, got your fro popping. You see what I mean? You deserve a good man. You deserve somebody who is 6 foot tall with a 6-pack and got money and curls down their back like Donovan, looking all sexy when he get out the shower. You see what I mean? You don't deserve anything. You
sound like maybe you shut up, Dimitri.
No. I was watching Martin Lawrence run and tell that. Yeah, y'all probably didn't see it. Water glistening all over your body. That right there. But you as a person, you don't deserve anything. You have to actually work for any and every scrap of thing that you have, get, or own. For Donovan, I know you understand what I'm saying, but let me ask you a question, sir. You said you were a pilot. It's not many brothers that are pilots. It's not many white people that are pilots also. You're from such a small pool of people. You are like the 0.11% of a person. You see what I mean? So, but didn't nobody white hold you back from that? They might have tried to discourage you. They might have tried to turn you another way, but they did not hold you back. The only person that could have held you back was you. Am I right?
That's correct.
So with that being said, the money and the stuff that's going to all of these other people, it wasn't going to come to us anyway. They didn't want to give us 40 acres and a mule when this country was still raw. This country was raw. It was nobody out west really, but a few Indians. They didn't want to say, oh, well, y'all go to Nevada or to Utah or to the Rocky Mountains. It was nothing out here on this West Coast, and we couldn't even get that. And that was hundreds of years ago. In this
I think you know what, we can be here forever. But
okay.
I do thank you for coming up here and give it the old college try. But you say I haven't.
You got toasted. You got toasted, Miss D.
I press upon you to go in the comment section and you can do your own survey. But I was
Miss, the comment section doesn't like me because I'm an N-word. I'm not just a black dude. I'm an American. I'm an N-word. I don't believe in the diaspora just because your skin is brown, mean you black.
I don't even know if that's necessarily they don't like you.
Well, they're pro-black. Most of the people that come on here are pro-black. Yeah. You see all of that B1.
Wait a minute. Now I got
okay, go ahead.
Your name is Black America. I think the problem problem is probably a strong word, but often you come up here and put your mind on display. As my father says, basically people think you a fool, but when you open your mouth, you confirm that. That's all I'm saying. Now you said to me that I didn't deserve it, but how is it that migrants deserve it? What did they do? What did they do to deserve 1 red cent? I'm a taxpayer, so I'm paying for that. So what did they do? And that's a rhetorical question, but I'm going to let you go because I ain't going to go back and forth with you, Black America. Back to the comment section you go. Hey, MC007, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
Well, what's on your mind?
Love you guys' show. I may say something that may be different than what you were talking about. I'm an attorney and I work for a certain government agency.
Okay.
Migrants are taking resources away directly from Black people. Like I said, I work downtown Los Angeles. I'm from Los Angeles, California, born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I'm a Gen Xer. I've seen the change from how our schools went from there was a problem, but we were dealing with the problems. But when we got a large migration issue, everybody got twisted into special education. And I'm saying this to whoever the other guy was before that guy, they're giving vouchers. Housing Authority is giving vouchers to a lot of these new arrivals. And you got people that have been waiting 6 months to a year to 2 years.
Longer than that.
For vouchers. And people just arrived here. You have children that are coming into the foster care system from across the border. And within 90 days, they got ID and Social Security. So my thing is that I believe a lot of these people that come on your show and defend Democrats are people that are very unaware of what I see every day. And I'm going to land my plane with that. And Demetria, you're a very beautiful woman. That's all I want.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And I always see you in
the I need you to stand up, Demetria, and then do a twirl for us. No, never mind.
But thank you so much. I always see you in the comment section. Thank you. I think this is your first time up, right?
Yes, it is.
So thank you for coming up here and come back and see us again.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, but see, he was speaking facts. I'm in Riverside, California. Demetria, you're from Riverside, LA area and stuff like that. Really Santa Barbara. You're kind of bougie. But the point is, growing up, we saw the dramatic change that was going on. Remember when it's even going on even to this day. You got the Latino kids and the Black kids that are left that are having fights in the whole school systems. I mean, we've been totally replaced out here. So if you're listening and watching from another area of the country, research the history of the gentrification that happened in LA. John Singleton in the movie Boys in the Hood, when Furious was talking to Trey and his friend and telling them how gentrification works. That is the playbook that they're using in your neighborhoods.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna put the link back in there. Y'all know Black America gonna come on here and try it. You know what it is he needs the attention too. So we give him a little attention every now and again, but you know, we might have to scale back on that. Quicks, how you doing? He says, I am worried that if we don't vote Democrat, they'll get more illegals and dump us, and the Republicans won't care either. We might become politically irrelevant and lose any power altogether. And I think that's fair. But what
power? What power do we have?
That's what I was going to say. What power do we have? We don't have any power now. So, you know, whatever we decide to do that's differently from the Democratic Party, I think we'll probably be back in square one. And I know people say, well, if you don't vote for this, the judge is this and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I mean, you can't see they're trying to guilt Black people into voting by using scare tactics, opposed to saying, okay, we've heard you and you guys been, you know, speaking about it long enough. We are actually going to do something specifically for Black people. They won't do that. They want to scare us in there. Oh, you know, Trump is going to come back if you don't vote. Oh, a no vote is a vote for Trump. Again, a no vote is just that. It's a no vote, because it could also be a vote for Joe Biden. But they know that. And I hate to say it, a lot of us won't use logic. Because if somebody says, well, you know, if you stay at home, you really voting for Trump. Well, if there's if you got two people running for the presidency of the United States, because usually it's a Republican and Democrat, right? If I stay home and I don't vote, where is the equation that says that actually is a vote for Trump? You know what it is? It's not an equation. It's an assumption that I, as a Black woman, should be voting for the Democrats. Like there is no other options for me but to vote for the Democrats. And if I don't show up to do that, well, it's a vote for Trump. What kind of math is that?
Yeah, but remember that video that went live in the last election? That's boy voted for a third party candidate. His mom went ballistic. You just gave a vote to Trump, and he was like, "No, I didn't." You know, it's just crazy. But see, again, this is why I'm a recovering Democrat. We have been born and bred to vote blue, no matter who, no matter what these people do to you. Keep them in power in doing that. It is estimated there is over 87 members of Congress that identify as Black, and they're part of the Black caucus as a whole in general. I think there's really 67 members of the Black caucus. 67. There's only 2 votes right now that control the House. The Republicans are holding on to it by 2 votes. So you mean to tell me the Asians could go to Joe Biden with 2 Asian representatives and say, if you don't give us a voting bill or our protection bill, we're not voting for your legislation, we're going to shut it down. They got it done. We have over 67 people, and we can't get anything passed in our favor, in our House, for us. Please make that make sense.
Right. And Ivory, I actually want to go back to your comment. And how you doing, by the way? He says, I can't get Section 8 to save my life. And I have 2 disabled children. I barely get any benefits or help from the government. Hell yeah, I'm mad. Right. So why do the migrants get to skip over Ivory? Why do they get to skip over her? You know, those programs were made for people in her situation, but you got migrants who are coming over here in droves, and they're soaking up all those benefits. You know, and then you're even hearing some of these Democratic mayors talking about, oh, well, our budget is overblown. We can't afford this, that, and the other. But they putting migrants up in places like the Roosevelt, a very nice hotel there off 5th Avenue in New York City. But you got Ivory who's saying, I can't get in those programs. And there's true. There's a lot of people who have been on those HUD lists, if you will, Section 8 lists for years. And they have to wait for a vacancy to open up. But you see all these people coming over here, and they're getting housing just like that. So yeah, you should be mad.
Well, here's the funny thing. And even if you're not mad for that, I'm mad for the simple fact that I have to pay for these people. My tax dollars that I'm working for, that they take out of my check, is paying for these people. That's my problem. So if they're going to take money out of my check, I would rather have it go to citizens that need it, that are born and bred, and and like I said, I'm not heartless or anything like that. But why is it that when the Haitians were at the border, we sent them back in droves, but then we let these people straight off the border? I'm for helping people that need help. I'm all for it. But when you're turning your backs on people that are Americans, much less the veterans that are homeless out here that can't do this and that can't do that, you see what I'm saying? That's my problem. Or what about the people that have migrated here the proper way? We are now putting these people ahead of them. Make it make sense, you guys. It doesn't make sense.
Right. And Sacha, how you doing? You say, Demetri, did you see Black America's face? Is he really Black American, man? You know what? Sadly, he is. I did see it because he often, not often, he hasn't done it lately, but before I bring him up to the big screen, he likes to try to taunt me like, like you see me. He Black. But trust me, he's Black, and you would think he wouldn't be, but I think more than anything, he's a troll. I think Black America likes to just come on here. I think he's bored. And he likes to say, if you say water is wet, well, no, it's not. And you don't deserve to drink it. He's gonna be contrary. So yeah, he's a Black man. Well, how you doing? And Tia to you, how you doing? He says, oh Lord, we are the Indians. I get what he's trying to say. Okay, got you. And Tanya, if I didn't already, how you doing? He says, I'm glad I didn't hear his whole spiel. You ain't missed nothing. And Tio, how you doing? He says, and giving them free health care. Yeah, they're getting all of that. California Governor Gavin Newsom says migrants, regardless of their status, are going to get full health care. They're going to get full health care. And, they've been, they had a meeting as far as what Black Americans, Californians would be entitled to reparations. And we ain't heard too much more about it, but it's going to cost the state of California $2.6 billion a year to fund health care for migrants. But Black people over there waiting to see what we going to get.
Yeah, the minute you talk about reparations, well, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? It doesn't matter. Put it on the credit card like you're doing for everybody else. Just put it on the credit card. It doesn't matter. You don't give a damn about your grandkids and your great grandkids' future. You've already mortgaged that off to them. So who cares? You're going to be dead. So why would you care? And that is basically the attitude, not of all the older generation, including myself. That's not all of our attitudes, but in general, that's how a lot of people are thinking. Hey, it ain't my problem. I mean, come on, y'all. It is already said that the millennials will not be able to buy the American dream. They will be able to rent it. And this is the stuff that we are supposed to be doing to make the country better for the next generations, and we're not doing that. This is why people are upset and should be fighting for the next generation. But for some reason, certain generations don't give a damn.
Right. So I'm reading y'all comments. Y'all put the comment, the link in the comment section if y'all want to come on here and ask a question, but specifically I'm looking for people to defend the Democratic Party. If that's what you want to do, we'll listen to you. Whatever.
Real quick, I want to read this real quick. Herschel Reed says, yeah, Gavin Newsom just pulled, he just pulled the straw that broke the camel's back. Right, which is great. But how many of you guys know that Gavin Newsom was married to the Tiffany, what's her name, Foyle, Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend? He was married to her. The one crazy lady. Guilfoyle. Yeah, Guilfoyle.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. She's engaged to one of the Trump brothers.
Yeah, the Donald Jr. But
Guilfoyle.
Yeah, but she was married to Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, and when he said he was shocked when he saw her up there. America. He said he was shocked because she's always been on Fox and all that kind of stuff. He was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. She's engaged to Donald Trump.
Don Jr.
Yeah. Did they ever get married? I don't know. So he said he was shocked to see her acting in that capacity. Gavin Newsom is also supposed to be the nephew of Nancy Pelosi. So I like Gavin, some of his policies, but he's not really, he has shown up for Black people in some ways, but that reparation study, it just kind of just disappeared, right? Because he tried to walk it back by saying, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be cash reparations. But then people, pressed him on it. He says, well, I didn't say it was off the table either. But they haven't discussed it any further. So, and Faliz, I hope I said that right. How you doing? In opulent times, how you doing? Oh, he says, Roland, donkey of all time. We know Boule and Greek letter clubs don't give a damn about FBA, B1. Never listen to bootlicks or house. Yeah, and like I said, it's unfortunate about Roland because he used to be, I think he was very sensical, but something happened to him somewhere. I don't know. Then again, too, you got to think about it. Roland was on television, right? He was on News One, he was on CNN. He might have been a little bit spicy, but I don't ever remember him calling black people names and stupid and dumbass. And
well, you can't do it on most platforms.
I know. So I'm just saying, was he hiding it because he had to be a little bit more polished on national TV? Or is that who he's always been, that has a disdain for black people? Now, a lot of people talk about him being, boule and esoteric society. I guess it's not even esoteric because a lot of them admit that they're in these societies. So we know that in those particular clubs, whether it's, the sororities and fraternities and things like that, they do tend to kind of look down on the rest of black people. So is his attitude toward black people who won't listen to him, is it just really he just doesn't like us? He better than us? Is that
I have a better question for you. And I have a lot of friends that are AKAs and all that other stuff, that foolishness, whatever the deal is. And if you ask them like what is going on in politics and stuff, they don't know. All they know is I'm a Democrat, I'm voting for Democrat. If you say, well, they have no clue what is actually happening out here in these streets for the majority of us, nor do they care. Not all of them, but most of my friends, they have no clue about the homeless issues going on with black people. They have no clue about the Section 8 problems. They have no clue about that because they're not exposed to that. They could care less. They go to their little boat parties. And I'm not like trying to down them. I'm just trying to get you guys to understand that, if it's kind of like being a white person and you live in Beverly Hills. You can't blame somebody who's never been exposed to something that they've always been shielded from. They read about it in a book. They might have saw it, but it wasn't a concern to them. Talk to most of your Boule friends, and I guarantee you, they could not tell you the local black plight that is actually happening for the majority of us. All they know is I'm a Democrat. No, and here's another thing. Most of them, very rare, any of them are Republican. Very rare. They're all Democrats.
Yeah. Brother Samuel, once again, how you doing? He says, I believe one of the problems we suffer is covered on the back page of the final call. We believe they offered, it says ID integration is hypothetical and made by those who are trying to deceive the black people into believing that their 400-year-old open enemy of freedom, justice, and equality are all of a sudden their friends, right? And we know that ain't the case, right? It's all an illusion. They are not our friends. No matter, even though Biden stood up there and says, you stood by me, I will stand by you. Hasn't done it. E. Stiggers, how you doing? Says, no matter how you get tore off the frame, vote blue. Is that what you're saying? So you're saying vote? Are you saying vote blue? Or are you being facetious? Let's see here. Black Star, how you doing? Says they're also filling up the hospitals. Yeah. Can you imagine, especially cold and flu season and all the stuff? And they say that thing is going back around and it's upticking. It's a new strain of it, rather. And so it's hard getting into the hospitals with that. And then now you got all these people coming over here. Can you imagine?
Demetra, stop. You're from California. You've known for years. If you went to the ER in Southern California and it's not life and death, you're sitting in that waiting room waiting because it's full of Hispanics. That's where they get their medical care. And it's been like that for 20, 30 years. So for you people that are not on border states, I know it is outrageous what you're seeing right now, but this is what the border states have been dealing with for years. See, and you guys didn't worry about it because it wasn't a problem until now it's a problem. But Demetra, you remember going to the ER. There's no way you can go into the ER. Put it like this. I'll give you an example, you guys. I have a regional hospital.
Hold on a second. Mooch, I see you. Give me one moment. I'm going to bring you up here.
Okay. I have a regional hospital that is 3 miles from my house, right? It's a community hospital. I would rather take my ass to the VA hospital 13 miles away where I know I will get in and be seen within a couple of hours or whatever. Because if I go to this one down here, I will never be seen.
Got you. So I'm going to bring up Mooch. He was the guest star beginning of the show, and he acquiesced my request for him to click the link. And so he, if you guys, and I'm going to bring you up here. I'm going to put you on mute. I did see his face, so I'm going to bring you up here. He has some very unkind words for that of myself and our brother Phil Scott. And so he is going to give us his opinion. And so we're going to see what he has to say. And hello to everybody that came on here. I'm going to check out the comment section for just a minute so I can focus on Mooch. It says Big Ward, the genius. Okay. What's on your mind, brother? Let me unmute you. I muted you. Let me unmute you. Okay, there you go. We can hear you.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not going to be disrespectful to nobody because I'm not like that. And second of all, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm not a Biden supporter or a Trump supporter. But the whole thing is, it seems like Phil Scott, big time, is trying to get black folks to support Trump. And a lot of people on his Facebook, on that Facebook page that you guys are on, everybody's starting to see it. And like I said, I'm not a Biden supporter at all. I think they're all crooked, but Phil Scott's going crazy. And you did it once on the video, but you're not as to the extreme as Phil Scott. But he's going crazy. He's going crazy, and it's not about he's anti-Democrat. This dude's getting up there, actually telling people to vote for Trump. Trump ain't doing no better than Biden. They none of them like us. None of them. None of them.
Okay, so I know brother Phil fairly well, and I can't remember seeing the time where he told people to vote for Trump. And let me ask you this, because I can't speak for him. Is he asking people to think about something else other than what we've been doing? And also, let me ask you this, Mooch. If he did tell people to vote for Trump, or he is a Trump supporter, and you think that I am a Trump supporter, and there's this thing called democracy, isn't that our right to do that?
Yes, yeah, it's your right. But what I'm saying is, I haven't. This is the first I've ever watched you when I watched you on that thing today when I made the comment. But I only seen that Trump video you made about the black dude from New York, and I'm from New York, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, 90% of New Yorkers don't like Trump. I don't care about the Bronx and all. That's they're paying, Fox News is paying them brothers to do that. I've been to the Bronx a million times. Nobody likes Trump there. Trust me. And
Okay.
that dude just wanted on the camera. But anyway, yes, it's a democracy. Yeah, we can do what we want. But the whole thing is with Phil, he preaches against racism, which he should. He had a video with the Hodge twins, which are big Trump dudes, anti-black. They're black, but they're anti-black. He did a video where he's totally against that. But the way he's talking, he sounds like a black conservative, anti-black man. That's what he sounds like now.
But let me ask you this. What did he say that makes him sound anti-black? Now, keep it in mind, because on this, and I appreciate you, brother, for coming up here, but what we like to do is on this show is use the motto, is not what you know, is what you can prove. Now, I want to line something up for you, then I want you to answer. Who owns the African, hence the word African, Diaspora News Channel?
Repeat that. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Who owns the African Diaspora News Channel?
I have no clue.
That is brother Phil Scott. Who owns the Black Congregation?
I have no clue.
That's also brother Phil Scott. He is also the proprietor of the Philip Scott Audio Experience. And he also has a couple of other channels that specifically caters to Black people. African Diaspora News channels are the diaspora, and the Black Congregation is for Black Americans. And so when I hear somebody say somebody is anti-Black, let me also ask you this. If I am anti-Black, do I cater my whole platforms, all of them, to Black people?
I don't know. Well, let
I mean,
me.
brother, I didn't wait, hold on, because
Okay.
one thing I don't want to do, and I want to keep it cordial. I don't like to move on. I really like to answer. I'll answer the question, and you answer the question. I asked a very simple question. Per what I outlined, how can somebody be anti-black if they're advocating for black people?
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that.
Right. So also, let me ask you this: is it possible that black people can be pro-black but have different ideologies about things? Is that possible? Because and I get where you're saying, because listen, as you see, my guy here, my guy being my best friend, his name is the recovering Democrat. Why do you think his name is the recovering Democrat? If you just take a wild guess at it, why do you think he's a recovering Democrat?
Well, he probably don't like Democrats no more, which I don't support
Okay,
him either.
but wait, you're partially right. When you're recovering from something, that means that you're trying to abstain from something, right? So he used to be a Democrat. He is now nonpartisan independent, which means I'm going to not let any party assume that I'm going to vote for them. Now I want to put the focus on me. I used to be a Democrat. Let me tell you, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. When Obama won, I fell to my knees. I was crying. I was so happy. I kid you not. My older brother would not let me live that down. So I'm not going to lie to you, okay? But once I got more information, then I said, because I'm a reasonable person. I think I'm pretty logical. Once I got different thought processes, I couldn't do nothing but say, you know what? I didn't think about that. So, and you say you're not Democrat or Republican, right?
No, I don't like none of them.
Right. But somehow you extracted that Phil and I are pro-Trump. Now, are you thinking that we're pro-Trump because we talk about him, or like what gives you that opinion?
Well, I only seen you once today on the video, so I haven't seen none of your video, or this is the first time I've seen you really today. But I've been watching Phil for years, and the thing with Phil, and it's just not me. It's a lot of people. Check out the comments on some of them videos he does. He, like I said, he sounds like Officer Tatum. You ever heard of Officer Tatum?
I have not. So I'm going to ask you, what does that sound like? What sounds does Officer Tatum, and who is he, if you don't mind me asking? What sounds does he make?
He is all this about, Democrats bad, which they are, but then Republicans good. And Phil is, I'm telling you.
Stop right there. We're getting somewhere now. Now, what did he say the Republicans do well?
He just said in one of his shows the other day that go for Trump. I made more money. You'll make more money with Trump. You'll make more money with Trump.
Okay, so stop right there. Could that be true that he made more money under Trump? And have you heard other Black people say that they've made more money under Trump?
To be honest, I've heard people say they've made it under Trump and Biden, both.
Okay, but have you heard? So you have heard people say they've made more money under Trump. Now, I personally know people who have made more money under Trump, right? And so, and I know those are kind of like some of the talking points that come out of from the left, the Democrats. Oh, Black people are saying they made more money under Trump, and they just talking about the stimmy checks and all this other stuff. But it's like, how you gonna pocket watch people and tell them what they made? That is their reality, that they made more money. And so why are we mad at people saying, because listen, when we vote, right, aren't we supposed to go and vote for something?
Yeah, I'm not voting just to let you know. I'm couching. I'm sitting on the couch.
Okay, but so if you don't mind me asking, why?
Because I don't like neither of them.
So you don't. So, but that's a choice, right?
Right.
So, and nobody's going to be mad. Well, some people might, but that's your right to do that. So, if somebody likes Trump over Biden, wouldn't that also be their right to do that?
Yeah. Well, see, okay, the whole thing with the Trump thing. Okay, a lot of people. I moved from New York to my job sent me to all places, Southern Ohio, by Kentucky and West Virginia. Okay, now what you see around here is Trump big trucks with Trump and rebel flags on the back of it, and they don't like you. And I'm a light-skinned black man, and
I saw
they don't
it.
like you. And what
Mhm.
Trump supporters stand for to me is not it. I mean, I firsthand see it. I mean, I see churches down in this area. They got churches, and I would send it to you on Facebook where they got Obama hanging from a rope. They still got that stuff, and then
Okay,
got Trump 2020 or 2024 on it. So then when I
but can
hear
I
a
ask
black
you?
person say they vote for Trump, and
Mhm.
then the racist supporters that I see around this area that I live in, and some of the areas, I can't fathom it.
So let me ask you this, and we're having a really good conversation. See, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Well, no, I'm
Now,
not going to be disrespectful to you.
oh no, trust me, I got thick skin. Anyway, do you think that racism started with the Trump administration?
Oh no, no, no.
Okay. Do you think it's if people want to, wave Trump flags, not the effigy of Obama hanging? That's a bit much. I would admit that. But if they want to wave Trump flags or whatever, don't you think that's their right to do that?
Well, I mean, I don't care
Okay,
if
but
they
let me
do
ask
it.
you
It's
this.
like it's like a like they have rebel flags down here.
Uh,
I don't pay attention to it. It would not happen in New York too
but what
much.
does that? Let me say, does that flag have any power by itself?
No, but it
Okay, let me
still
ask you this
lets
question.
you
Let
know
me
what they're about.
okay, but let me ask you this question. What has more power, the pen or a flag?
Oh, the pen.
Right. Okay, now we getting somewhere. Trump supporters, they wave their flag around, right? Yeah, it's Trump country. Because I live in Texas. I'm a Southern
Oh
California
God.
girl. Listen, I'm a Southern California girl. Don't get it twisted. But
Right,
I'm
right.
currently here in Texas, okay? So trust
Oh
me, I see it all. I see Trump flags, I see Confederate flags, I see it all. I
yeah.
don't trip, okay? Now let's get back to this pen. Who has wielded the pen more in a harmful manner toward Black Americans? Is it Trump or is it Biden?
Oh. I mean, Trump's did little things like with the
Do some
black
math, brother.
colleges and
You
stuff.
a smart brother. Let's do some math. Come on now. This ain't hard. Okay, let me make it a little bit easier. Biden has spent over 50 years in Washington as a senator, vice president, and president.
And hadn't
Trump
done
has,
nothing.
all right now, you said it, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like
Trump,
Biden either.
but listen, Trump spent 4 years in Washington as the president with less power than a senator for the most part, right?
Hmm.
Who has been more adverse toward Black people?
Well, Biden has.
All right, stop right there. So when you see a Biden bumper sticker or Biden flag, I'm riding with Biden. Do you have those same emotions like when you see that of a Trump flag?
When a black person has Biden on their stuff, I get on them too.
But do you have those same? Do images of racism come to mind and make you feel away when you see Biden stickers and stuff?
No,
Why not?
because the white people that I deal with at my job that have Biden, now this is just what my experience. All the white people that are Biden liberals where I work, they are the ones that seem to take me out to lunch,
All right, stop right
buy
there.
me, do things for me.
Stop right there. You use the word seem, and I want to focus on that. You
Hmm.
said they seem to like you because they buy you lunch and all of that. Does
Well, they're
Biden?
nicer to me.
They're not. Yeah, when we are with coworkers, they tend to be nicer to us,
Right.
right?
Not the Trump ones.
Um. Well, why do you think that is? If you don't mind me asking, do they say, "Oh, there's a black man. Let's be mean to him"? Like, what's
They,
going on?
well, the ones that where I work at, there's probably 10 Biden people, white, 15 Trump people, white, couple black people that are Biden support. They're Democrat. You can't deal with them. They're hard headed. But the white the white Biden people treat me with respect, even if it's a fake respect. I'm not saying it's fake, but the Trump people at my work, they don't want nothing to do with you. They won't speak. I'm just being honest. They won't speak. They won't have nothing. And I'm a businessman. They don't want nothing to do with you. You can feel the racism.
Do you want to speak to them?
No, but
is it gonna make you feel better if they speak to you?
No.
Why
I see what you're saying,
but why do you go to work?
Make money.
Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So you going to work to make money. Do you really? Are you getting some commission if they speak to you?
Right. Well, the whole thing is Republicans are open about their racism. Democrats are hidden, but they're both against us.
What's scarier? What's scarier?
Hidden scarier.
Right.
Because
because listen, when I go into a restaurant, I walk into there, I want to see somebody say, I hate black people. Don't come in here. Opposed to the dude in the kitchen that don't like black people and is hiding it. He's keeping it under wraps because he might be doing something to my food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I guess really just kind of wrap it up a little bit. We know that the Republicans and the Democrats, they are the same. They are two wings.
They're the same thing. And that's all I want Phil to say. Not just me, millions of people, that Republicans aren't good either.
Right. But listen, this is the other thing, though. Oftentimes, people are going to say things we don't like. That's their right to do that. You know what I mean? And I know Brother Phil, and he's a very smart man. And he often, every time I hear him speak, he takes mastery of what he is saying, and he does the math. He's just not, because I know there's a lot of people on this thing we call the internet, and they just espousing all kind of stuff. Phil ain't that type of dude. He ain't up there just saying any old thing that comes out of his mind. He's very well versed and very well researched. And so I would say for anybody that may have an issue with not even just what he's saying or what I'm saying, or even what Donovan's saying, think about it. Because sometimes we get really closed off because it doesn't fit into what we have been taught.
Right.
Let's keep it up. Black people, we have been taught that Democrats are your party. That's who you're rocking with. You vote blue no matter who. And I'm not telling you not to do that. But at some point, the Black community has to come to terms with that party that we have been voting for forever has not been voting for us. Let me ask you this, dear brother. Do we have reparations?
No, Democrats and Republicans ain't going to give it to us. Biden and Trump, no one's going to give it to us.
But wait, let's stay in the same vein. Who do we as Black people pledge our allegiance to politically?
Oh, Democrats, mostly.
So shouldn't that who we be demanding something from?
Oh, yeah, of course. And then they're not even, Democrats aren't even, they ain't even attempting, even though Trump's ahead in the polls, Biden ain't even acting like he even cares, or you know what I'm saying? Like he don't. I mean, going to black churches don't mean nothing. I mean, that don't mean nothing.
Let's go back over to Trump. You a New Yorker, right? I'm imagining you born and bred there, right?
Yes, Queens.
And if you don't mind me asking, about how old are you?
53.
Okay, so you my age. So you were there, you know, in the heyday of Trump. Everybody was wrapped up in the Trump. Everybody was rap songs and this and movies, and Trump was the guy. But then when he
but most of that's just Hollywood. Most of the real black people live there like me. It's not Hollywood. We were mad at him because of Central Park 5.
Stop right there, because I was waiting for you to bring that up, my dear brother.
I've never liked him after that.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I want to go on record saying that I think he's a douchebag for that ad that he took. I was at the New York Times. Was it?
Yep.
One of them.
Yep.
Horrible person, calling for the death penalty of those young boys at the time, 1989. But let me ask you this. Why is it that y'all, New Yorkers and everybody else, are more mad at Trump, who had no political power, than you are at Linda Feinstein and all those other Democratic DAs and all of those people, why are y'all more mad at him than them? They're the
Oh, I
ones
mean,
that
I don't like them either.
right, but I don't never hear nobody say nothing about it though. And to take it a step further, Linda Feinstein donated to the campaigns of Hillary Clinton, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, and Barack Obama. And guess what? They took that money knowing that she sent those innocent boys up the river for something they didn't do.
Well,
But guess
see,
what?
that's what I
Guess what?
said. They're all crooks. They're all
But if
crooks.
I go to the nearest CME Baptist church, stand my black ass in the middle of there and say, Obama is the devil, do you know I will not make it out of there alive?
No, yeah, they would,
right.
I mean, Obama's the devil too.
But right, but do you see how now we're having the conversation on both sides, opposed to us just being mad at Trump? And listen, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't advocate for Trump. But what I do like to do is advocate for logic. See, we as Black people, we got to stop being so emotional. There is this thing called appeal to emotion. And there are corporations, there are political parties, and everything else you can think of that know how to wield that power, appeal to authority, and they know how to make it work on Black people to a science. They know how to do that, which is why the Democrats give us no voting, no fucking, twerking to the polls, and vote blue no matter who, and your ancestors died. That's why they do all of that, because they know that gets to our emotional core.
Emotions, yeah.
Instead of us being cerebral and being from the neck up, they know we're not going to be from the neck up. We're going to be from the neck down, and we're going to twirl all around. Donovan, what do? What do we do?
What?
We get the twirling all around. Hallelujah, Jesus.
I got one for you. I got one for you. Okay, you know this stuff going on in Texas, right? Where you're at right now with all this the stuff. Okay, where I live at, these rednecks are here. A lot of rednecks here. I mean, it's crazy. A lot of they're posting posters and pictures of Mexicans hanging on trees, burritos, and all this. Keep their signs. I mean, it's out in the open here. Keep the brown people away out of our America. So I'm sitting back thinking, then Trump 2024, and I'm like, man, I'm actually for keeping, the illegal immigrants out. But then when you go saying our America, keep the brown people out, see I'm like, why would I support somebody like that? Them Trump people like that.
Okay, can I ask you a question? What did they call Obama in regards to immigration? Do you know?
Deporter in chief. Deporter in chief.
Oh yeah, deporter.
Why did they call him deporter in chief?
I don't remember all that.
Until this very day, Obama has deported more people back to their home countries than any other president.
Right. And remember when Trump was in office, they talked about the cages, the children, they're in cages. Do you think Trump,
yeah, I remember that.
Who came up with those cages?
I don't remember. I think Obama. I can't remember.
But yet people are mad. And this is why we're having a good dialogue here. And welcome to everybody that came on here. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. But this is where the dialogue starts to take place. So now we're actually bringing some other information into the conversation. And so while Trump is not a great dude, I'm not saying that he is. When we start to talk about the other things on the other side of the aisle, it starts to even out the playing field just a little bit, right? Because again, we're hearing about how all these things that he did, but nobody really talks about the things that Obama did.
I mean, we can go on that too. Yeah. He did a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, but also, you talk about how they are treating, the Mexicans and stuff like that. It is horrible, but guess what? They've been treating Black people bad since we've been over here and often on those plantations. And so while I feel bad for them, I don't feel worse for them than I do our people. At least
no. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I'm not a Democrat at all. So anyone listening, no, I don't. I'm against all of them too. But all I'm saying is, there's no way in hell that I'm supporting Trump supporters. It's not even really as much as Trump as it is his supporters, the racist ones. That's what I'm totally against, because it feels like to me, if I support him, I'm supporting them. That's what it seems like. And no, I'm not for Biden either. But what I'm just saying, when I'm seeing all this racist stuff, and then you in Texas, you got to see some of that stuff. But
You know, I do and I don't. You know what I mean? Because I'm not really
yeah,
out there like that. Michelle, can I see your face before I bring you up? I'm not out there. I got you. I got you. You can blank it back out if you want to. There you go. I'm not out there that much, but I'm one of those people. I don't focus on them because a lot of times people say, "And oh, really? How you doing?" A lot of times people say, "Oh, you're anti-white or this, that, and the other." It's like, no, I'm pro-black. So I'm focusing on black people. I don't focus on those other people. Listen, racism has been here and it's gonna be here, right?
yeah,
We as black people need to focus on the things that are going to help us. And I think by now you and I have agreed that the Democratic Party is not going to help us. The Republican Party is not going to help us.
nope.
But have you heard of a protest vote?
No, I never heard of that.
So a protest vote is, all right, black people are expected to vote for the Democratic Party. Democratic Party has not done anything for black people. So I'm either going to sit on the couch or I'm going to vote in protest for Trump. Or I'm going to write in a candidate, Kermit the Frog. I even saw one ballot, Harambe, that, gorilla. Somebody wrote him in on the ballot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So a lot of black people are just deciding to do that. They're saying, I'm not going to sign up for more of nothing. But, Mooch, I'm really glad that you did come on here so we can have, a great dialogue and maybe get some understanding. But, I would just impress upon you and everybody else. And when I say you, I mean me too, to learn how to listen to information that we may not be used to and may not like and say, well, is it right? It might be tight, but is it right? Because we want to
well,
deal with right, not it hurt my feelings or I don't like what you
before
say.
before I get off here,
Sure.
when you get a chance, look up Officer Tatum. He's a big on YouTube.
Officer Tatum. Okay. So yeah, I will look him up, but without me even looking it up, I guarantee you $1 to a donut that he and brother Phil are nowhere near the same person. I'm gonna go off and say that without even looking him up. But again, I thank you for coming on here. I would impress upon you to continue to listen to all platforms. I know sometimes we say things that you may not like.
The
And
black
I'm just
people to
saying,
support Trump, just like,
huh?
man, these, the white racists still get on there.
You're
Like,
you're kind of
he
your audio is kind of messed up a
he
little
just
bit.
said things he can't white, but he's getting colored people and else colored people.
Yeah, your audio was kind of messed up, but I'm gonna let you go so Michelle can come on here. But thank you, Mooch, for coming on here. It was a pleasure. Yeah, his audio is messed up. Okay, Michelle, how you doing?
Good evening here out here in the DMV. So I'm not sure what time is it over in your side because it's 8 o'clock over here.
It's 7:07 here, so you're an hour ahead of me and Donovan.
5:07. 5:07.
Okay, so it's evening. Good. Well, thank you so much for having me on the platform. I think this is a good discussion. My concern is we're just having these separate discussions here and there. I wish I was a multimillionaire because I wish we could get some type of forum and really have these type of discussions. I know Tariq Nasheed had the FBA convention a few years ago. I was really rooting. I mean, just on a person, really rooting for him. But my concern with him right now is where are we going now? Because this right now we're in a pivotal election right now. We really need to have certain discussions as a Black collective on where are we going? Where are we going? How are we going to talk about how are we going to present our reparations case? Because there's so many different arguments about reparations. We need to be on the same page like other communities when it comes to their issues. Another issue I have with some of the Republican Party is they try to water down racism. And that's what kind of offends me sometimes. Like the Officer Tatum, like he tries to discuss. I notice when I listen to him, he tries to water down racism, and I don't like that, or water down our blackness. You know, and I don't like that. And when that gentleman came on talking about his family members received social services and made some derogatory terms about it, I didn't appreciate that, because there's a reason why we need those services, and he needs to understand the complexities of our need for those type of services as it relates to representation and not being able to have opportunities generations beforehand. So again, we need to have a really holistic collective conversation as a people and come down to some type of protocols on how we're going to engage each other and talk about certain issues with each other. You know, again, I know it's idealistic. I don't have resources myself, but we have to get on the same page, or we're losing. Because you got Roland Martin. I saw that clip with Dr. Carr. I was flabbergasted. Talk about we're all immigrants. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No, absolutely. And I agree with you as far as the dialogue. We do need to get on the same page. But
I appreciate your forum, because it is a start in the right direction.
I was gonna say just that you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. And that's our goal here. We don't always get along. Of course, y'all catch Donovan and I on a good day, we'll be having some major fisticuffs. We haven't had one in a while, so I think we're getting along better. But stay tuned. I'm quite sure. But yeah, we try to open up dialogue and see different points of views. We're not one of those platforms where you got to be talking this way or walking this way. We welcome all, well, for the most part, ideologies, because as they say, iron sharpens iron. We learn from each other. Donovan and I don't know everything. We learn a lot of stuff from y'all all the time. And so that's really the purpose of this platform, is to give people just a chance to say what's on their mind, and maybe y'all can change our mind about something. Because as I said, we don't know everything. So I see a lot of people wanting us to open up the link. I would do just that. But we've been on here for 2 hours already. So I will be back on here on Tuesday, Donovan? Yeah, Tuesday. We'll be back here on Tuesday because Donovan is going somewhere again. We're going to be back on here Tuesday. And I swear for God, I wish I could have said personally hello to every last one of y'all. But on here was over 600 people, which I think might be a record. So I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for coming on here, whether you agreed, disagreed, or whatever it is. This is amazing. And D-Bob, I hope I said that right. Oh, it's my pleasure. Gosh, Dirt M, how you doing? Divine Order, I saw you want to come on, but we're gonna get out of here. JJ Mars, how you doing? Michael Pedro, how you doing? So Carly, everybody, I wish I could say hello to you all. One day I will. El Boogie, where you been? I've been catching your lives, good stuff that you put down. I can't comment on your lives, but I did like it to let you know that I was there. Steele, Yashawn, Dijon, TD, Brother Samuel, Tia Truth, how you doing? So we'll be back here Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. We'll be talking about politics again. Big Rich, how you doing? That's what we're trying to do, talk about politics just a little bit more because it is political season. We want to make sure that we have a spirited discussion, a good discussion, and an insightful one so that we can go. If you're going to go, you're not going to stay on the couch. You're going to go to the polls, that you go informed, knowing what you should know. No longer are we going to just show up to the polls. What is it, Donovan? I'm going to vote blue no matter who. I don't care what's in
I'm not asking no questions. I don't care what they got in the thing. Come on now. We got to be better than that. The most dangerous voter is an uninformed voter.
Yes, indeed. So anyway, hello, Quincy. We're going to get out of here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Stay tuned for Tuesday. It's going to be another hot one. So in the meantime, you guys have a great evening. Peace.